Okay, well, welcome back. If you're a returnee, glad to have you. If you're new, glad to have you as well. I'm Autumn. I'm a stamp carving artist, and if stamp carving is something you're interested in, you might want to think about subscribing. In my last video, I talked about carving tiny stamps and mounting them on wine corks. And also digging out from the snow, which we did several times since we last saw each other, because we've had a ton of snow. And I'm not complaining, because I do love living in New England. And so anyway, moving on. This is going to be a short video because the other one was long. And I'm just going to share with you what I do with my tiny stamps, because there's a lot of options and these are just a few. And I'll come back to this in a minute, but first let me show you my tiny stamps. These are my wine corks. I don't know how many. I tried to count. I kept getting a different number. That's why in my last video I said 93, 98, 95, I don't know. Since then, I have carved a few more, some birds, a teapot, and some other things, coffee cups, this interesting guy, and more. And I am just so happy with them. I honestly have been playing with them a lot, and as I've been using them, I'm thinking, oh, I should carve more. But I'm all good right now because I have more that I'm getting ready to show you, because they don't all fit in here. This is just the box I have of my wine corks and some little mini blocks here that are mounted, just a few. And in my video I talked about splitting the wine corks for really tiny little stamps, or cutting the wine cork in half to get more mounting ability. Stay put. This guy really just, I'm gonna block you in there. He always wants to throw himself down. Okay, stay put. Or also cutting them in half, and then you get two different mounts from one cork. So anyway, just a lot of fun, and I talk about mounting them and how I do it. So check out that video. There will definitely be a link, or I'll put an end screen so you can just jump on over there when you're done watching this one. So as I said, I have more and more. And I mean, just the idea of little tiny scraps of rubber material that can make the most amazing little marks. I mean, this little, looks like nothing, really, honestly. But look what it can do. Some really cool abstract textures and patterns. And so, you know, my point is made, right? You get it. So I have little tiny ones that I keep. I don't use them that often, but I do come to them occasionally when I think, oh, what am I looking for? You know, what can I use to add just a little tiny bit of something in maybe an art journal, mostly art journals. And they're just a lot of fun to make. And in that other video, I did talk about other ways to mount. So again, go check it out. And I'm just going to show you really quick some of the things I've done with these little tiny stamps, because I think they're absolutely a blast to work with. Okay, so this was one of my favorite things to do with them. This, I had a, let's see. This is just a watercolor sketchbook. This one's by Hana Mule. And I covered the whole page with a watery mixture of walnut ink, quinacridone gold, and rose madder Holbein watercolor. I mixed it up and put it in a bottle, brushed it on, and let it sit, because I really like this soft, balanced, beautiful, warm hue for the background. And I think when you do this, it kind of helps the other colors feel a little bit more cohesive. Maybe, maybe not. But I do like the look. So once that was dry, I taped it off with washi tape And then I painted in with watercolor, let that dry, and then I stamp with my different color inks, tried to match the inks to see that they could, you know, look cohesive and pretty and lovely. And on this, I only used the VersaFine Claire inks, and I thought it was pretty. It's a good way to, you know, this is a new sketchbook, so it's a good way to start a new sketchbook if you don't know what to do. And in my other video, I did talk about this journal, but I just wanted to show you really quick some more things that I've done in it. I might have shared this with you, but I didn't talk about my favorite tiny stamp. I carved this so many years ago, and I always come back to it. And you can see how sweet it is. It's just the sweetest little flower. And of course, this is another tiny stamp, but it's just got such a great design feel. It's just so much fun to play with. I absolutely come back to this stamp all the time. And it's my favorite. It's my favorite. Some more pages. Here I did 2 colors on one stamp. This looks a little tedious. It might be, but I just had so much fun doing it. And you can just see some other little tiny stamps that I worked with. And again, here's my favorite stamp. I just love it. It's just my absolute favorite. So carve your little tiny stamps and find your favorite and devote your work to it. No, not really. You know what I mean. Anyway, I think that's it. Is that it here? Is that it? Right. I mean, you've seen this. I think I showed this before, but this is just stamping on painted paper and then collaging into your art journal with your tiny stamps. Using black ink is also great on very vibrant papers. It makes a really bold design. Okay, moving on. Okay, some more color swatching with watercolor and then stamping with tiny stamps. This one I did a long time ago, and I kept coming back to this, and I kept thinking, I need to do a video on this. So here I am. I just love this page. It's in one of my watercolor journals. I think this is, yes, this is a Canson mixed media. So it's 138 pound, 224 gram. So it's a little bit heavier paper. Yeah, I think they changed. I'm not sure if they make this one anymore. I think it's just the XL. I could be wrong. Anyway, I kept coming back to this page and I just love it. So I decided to explore it, and that's what I did when you saw the one that I just showed you. And then I did another one in this one. Let's see what this is. Oh, no. So this is this is a Canson XL watercolor pad. They also have a mixed media one. But anyway, we're not talking about paper today. Well, we are a little bit, as we always do. So, okay, never mind. So again, watercolor swatches, let them dry. I came back in, and then I just stamped with my little tiny stamps. It's just a great way to play, feel kind of adventurous, and explore. Use your stamps. And you have this really fun, colorful page. I did one more where, let's see, what's this one? Okay, so this is a Canson XL mixed media, 98 pound, 160 gram. I do like the lightweight paper better. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I like the lightweight paper from bookmaking. Another video. We'll get there. The heavier weight is good. Just find what works for you, you know. This one was fun because I had color swatched. So then I had the swatches down. So before I stamped, I wanted to lift some of the paint. So I came in with a wet paintbrush and added just water with my brush and let it sit for like a minute, and then I would blot it up with a tissue, and it gives this nice faded little look in here. Because I thought some of these were a little bit too dark to stamp on, and I wasn't sure that they were going to show. And this worked out really well, and it gave a really cool design. And I like that I used similar color inks with the swatches. I didn't on these two, but I kind of used complementary colors, and I thought that was a good way to add a nice cohesive feel to it. Okay, and then I started playing with my little house stamps, and I used one of my favorite really lightweight Japanese papers. And this one, you guys might have seen this. I'll leave a link for it below. It's very, very lightweight. It's almost tissue-like, and I do love stamping on it because when I collage with it, it becomes transparent a little bit. Good enough for me and my liking. So I thought that was a lot of fun to play with these little houses and stamping them and then kind of making a little village. And I added some flowers and some little branchy things. So I'll use this for collage in one of my art journals. But I went on to do more, and I made just little clusters of these villages, which I thought was so much fun. And there's a little bit of a process to this, where you stamp the houses in the front, and then you mask those, and then you stamp behind, and as you keep going, you mask more and more. If you want me to do a video on it, let me know. I think it's kind of self-explanatory, but it may be something you don't know what I'm talking about, so let me know, and I'll do a video. And so yeah, that's what I did. I just thought those turned out so sweet. This was so much fun. I could have sat there all day and made a ton of these, and I just might do that one day. And then I stamped some more flowers, just little patches, just little vignettes, little clusters of flowers that I can use in my art journals, in my art journal adventures. For instance, this one I stamped with 2 colors, as I showed you earlier, and I did a secondary print over here so that I had the dark value and then I had the light value, and those will work. You know, I can use them together or separate, but I just think that they turned out really cool, actually. Very sweet. I do love the idea of having the stem and then adding the flower on top. So chances are I might carve a few more stems. We'll see. And then this one was a big sheet that I stamped. Let's put okay, that's better. Okay, so this was a lot of fun. I mean, this is when you just sit down and you get your 2 inks, your 2 little stamps, the stem, the flower, and you just go crazy and you have fun stamping. And I love this. So I think this is really pretty, and I'm gonna use this in a collage. Very, very pretty. Same thing here. I don't worry about spacing it. I kind of let it fall into place organically, so I don't have to worry about making sure that they're all symmetrically spaced out or, spaced out. And so I like that real natural feel, the movement, the organic feel of it. And this was stamped with Archival ink by Ranger. I love this ink, and I love this ink. I do, I love it. But it doesn't work great on this Japanese thin paper. It will bleed a little bit, and you might be able to see that here. You can definitely see it in the flowers, because this pink here is the Archival. This pink is the VersaFine Clair. So my advice when using this paper is to either use the VersaFine Clair or the VersaColor pigment. Those 2 will not bleed. That's what I used here. This is the VersaColor pigment. This is the VersaFine Clair, VersaFine Clair, VersaFine Clair. These 2 are the VersaColor pigment. So those are your best bets on using this really absorbent, fine weight tissue rice paper. This is a great ink, but it's not for this paper. Beautiful, love it. Can't wait to use this. Of course, you can't go wrong with pink and green in my world. All right, one final little fun tidbit is stamping them on little tiny pieces of paper, because they're little tiny stamps. And I have this small punch that I was using actually for my wine corks, and I talk about how I mount them, and I discussed that in the last video. And I had it sitting out, and I thought, oh, I should just stamp out a bunch of these painted papers and stamp my little tiny stamps on them. Those are fun little collage elements. So that's what I did. Here's just a little scrap of paper. I stamped a little strip. But again, you know, you can use that in collage in your art journal. and you have your own imagery to play with and your own designs, and you will be happy and proud of yourself that you're using your own designs. I think it's important, so give it a shot. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.